Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I am working on part of my big project for the year, which I like to do every year. And I'll talk more a bit about this project in a future video, but I do want to talk a bit about some of the tips and tricks that I've learned over the years to help me get consistency when I'm working on a larger project, which I actually find really enjoyable and interesting to talk about, to listen to other artists talk about. I love learning about the details that go into something much bigger. It's like figuring out all of these individual little puzzle pieces, and then as you put them together, you create something that is just so much more special and unique and interesting than each of the puzzle pieces separate. So I have a great passion for creating bigger art projects, but one of the challenges that can come from that is creating consistency from one piece to the next. So when you're doing a lot of paintings or a lot of pieces of artwork that have to look like they belong to the same universe, that they were created by the same artist in the same time of their life, there's a lot of things that can really vary that make them feel less cohesive. And these are just some of the tips that I've learned over many years of doing a yearly big project that has helped me to take some of the thought that I need to put into to keep it consistent away so that it's a little bit more natural and automatic from the beginning. And that allows me to just get a lot more immersed in creating each individual artwork and really enjoying the process of creating the project and creating each piece and just getting more into the flow of things. So yeah, let's talk a bit about some of those tips that I have. So the first one is a little bit of like a sidetrack of the much larger planning that goes into a project, which I'll talk about in a future video. But part of it is knowing what colors are going into the entire project and the color makeup of everything. But then once you have had that decided, then this step is where you can choose exactly what paints, what markers, whatever you're using, exactly which ones you will use to create that. So I like to make sure that I have those planned out from the beginning. That way, as I work on each piece, I can make sure that I pull those paints specifically, and then they will always have that harmonious quality. So if I'm creating a more limited color palette, then I can pick the colors that are exactly what I'm going to use. So like if I'm going to have a predominantly green painting with a little bit of other colors, I might pick that exact green paint that I will use. And then maybe the primary colors that would be used in addition to that. And then I will always only use those colors. So instead of having, say, 3 reds that might be in my collection, and then kind of randomly using one of them, I just use that singular red color or that one green color. So for this project, where it is all black and white, it's all done with ink, that part is actually nice and easy, no surprise there, but I like to choose one specific ink that I will be using for the entire project. So I have my, I think it's Dr. P.H. Martin Black Star ink. I will use that for everything. So that will allow me to make sure that everything behaves the same way when I'm creating a wash. The opacity, the transparency, depending on how much water I mix, it'll be the same every time. And it'll have the same warm, cool balance rather than be using different inks through the process and then having variation in that. So yeah, I just make sure that I'm using the same exact medium throughout. Then my next tip is taking notes. I like to have some form of note taking, either in a notebook or even just a scrap piece of paper that'll float by, but that allows me to mark down color mixtures that I might use to get an exact mixture, which is kind of in connection to the last tip, or it will allow me to mark down, say, like a certain order that I use to create like a certain texture in watercolors. There are countless things that you could want to remember how you executed it, and then writing down all of those notes on how you executed something allows you to revisit that and then create something that is very similar without having to remember it right away. This is something that has really saved me in the past when there have been like gaps between working on several pieces that were very similar. Say I worked on a different type of piece for the project in between, and I forgot how I put something together, how I created a certain technique, but I jotted it down. Even just a few little notes just has completely saved me so that I can execute it the way that I want it to look, and they all look very similar. And then another tip is to just batch out what you can. This I find that even just like a small amount of batching, consolidating what you have to do actually goes a long way. So by this, I mean, so for example, in my project, I have a certain order of creating each piece. So I do the sketch, I transfer that onto watercolor paper, I adhere the watercolor paper to a raw artist panel, and then I do my inking and my washes, and basically I finish that specific painting. So what I can do to help make sure that there's a little bit more consistency is I can sit down and create 3 sketches first and then transfer those 3 and then glue them down, or do them in bulk where I do all of the sketches in one go and then I transfer all of them and then I paint all of them. There can be a lot of different ways you can break it down, but I find that grouping things together, it helps me get into the flow of creating consistent, say, shapes within the sketches, or just being able to transfer it the way that I want and then move on to the next one and it still has that same flow and rhythm to it. I find that it's like half the work. If I'm doing 2 pieces together, it feels almost like it's breaking it up in half, where I don't have to start off really rusty with each step. So yeah, anytime that I can group them together, I try to do that. I try to do 2 sketches instead of just 1 and then move on. But this is also something that can really depend on your own personal approach to creating your artwork and your own way that you like to do your process. So for me, I do love this. If someone else, if you like to make sure that you create and complete something before you ever start another one, then being able to work fully through one to the next might be the right path for you. But I do suggest that if you've never tried this before, try batching your process out. And in like a small side of that, of batching things out, I like to batch out the mediums, the product, the stuff, the art stuff that I'm using as much as I can. So like I like to cut out the paper that I'm going to use in one go. So I have a stack that is all the same paper. It's all just ready to go. And that way, as I'm working on the project, I don't have to get tripped up if I'm in the flow of things of creating artwork. I don't have to stop to then cut out paper that's the right size, especially doing it like one at a time. That really throws a wrench in the process. So if I can get a lot of the more tedious, mundane stuff out of the way all in one go, then I will absolutely choose to do that. I also like to batch out any like paints that I can, or ink mixtures. So for this project, I created 2 little vials that have different consistencies of paint, or not paint, of ink. That way, when I am creating each painting, I know which ones I can use to get like a base level of consistency from one to the next. So I have my light wash, and I wrote down exactly the recipe. So when I run out of this, I can create a new one, a new bottle. But I use that light wash for the background for all of my cards. So every single time they are going to be value matched from one to the next, which is a beautiful thing, because then I don't have to sit there and try to make sure that it is the right value compared to my past pieces. And then sometimes I might be off and then have to try to find a way to adapt it. This just makes sure that I don't even have to think about it. I know which one goes in the background. I know which one I can rely on to create a similar value. And it just helps a lot to just get into the flow of it. And my final tip, and this one is actually maybe pretty obvious, but I often forget to do it, and that can really mess up cut this chunk. And my very final tip, which might be fairly obvious, but it's one of those things that's easy to forget in the moment, and then you realize that you should have been doing it all along, and that is using the past pieces from the same project that you've created already as references for your future pieces. So I like to have the ones that I've been working on next to me, the finished ones, while I'm working on the new one. That allows me to compare and make sure that the value range is similar, or at least similar enough to what I want to be creating. And the line work weight, I can make sure that that is also consistent from one to the next. So rather than having one piece that has really very fine, small line work for the entirety of it, and then creating a piece that has much thicker line work, and then they no longer feel like they mesh together well, I can compare them as I'm working on them, and then they have that same details, the same the same everything that I'm looking for, and that makes a huge difference. I have done that a few times in the past where I've forgotten to look at the pieces that I've already created, and then I've say done the wrong scale, so the character was way bigger in a space that should have been the same scale character from one to the next, or the colors were completely different. I may have been using the same paints right out of the tube, but I might have mixed them just a little bit inconsistently. So I used more of one than the other, and then it ended up way too warm. Love to have myself surrounded by the project, by the pieces that I've created already, by the sketches, by as much that I've already done as I can, so that I can just stay immersed in the project. And that is about it for today. I do want to say it's not really an announcement. It's more like an announcement for an announcement, but my tarot deck, my Lunar Lost tarot deck that I kickstarted forever ago, it was a really long time ago, I will be adding it to my shop so that it's widely available to anyone who missed out on the Kickstarter. That will be available the next video that I launch. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for the big announcement for when you'll be able to get a deck if you missed out last time, or if you want a duplicate. They'll be available very, very, very soon. I'm ideally planning on releasing that video and getting them up on the shop and everything in about a week. So yeah, stay tuned for that. But yeah, that is it for today. So thank you guys so much for chatting with me as I talk about one of my favorite topics, creating art projects. I love doing it. But yeah, there will be more of it. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to all of my incredible Patreon patrons over on Patreon. There we go. You guys help me to create art every single day. You help me to create these videos. So thank you so much for your support. That link and the link to my shop will be listed down in the description if you want to check those out. And I'll see you guys next time. So thank you for watching. I'll see you then.